Are you ready to find out what made these tracks? It's a cat! Meow. Hello, and welcome back to It's For You. So we finally figured out what made those tracks. Do you remember what it was? Yes, it was a cat. So I thought, let's talk about cats this week. So I started looking through my Bible, and I really can't find any verses about cats. Can you? Because if you can, I'd like to know which ones those are. So I found the closest thing to a cat that I could in the Bible, and it just so happens that one of you suggested it with a verse. So let's look and see. That would be the lion. And the verse that we have for the lion is Judges 14, verse 5. So I'm really curious about the story because there's a lot of stories about lions in the Bible. So I'd like to see which one this one is. Let's go and take a look. Judges 14, verse 5. So Samson went down to Timnah with his father and mother and came to the vineyards of Timnah. Now, to his surprise, a young lion came roaring against him. Can you imagine? If you came across a roaring lion and you were all by yourself, I would be absolutely petrified, terrified. What would you do? Let's back up there for a minute. Who is Samson? Do you know? Well, Samson was a judge before they had kings. But he wasn't just any judge. He was pretty special. God made him special, and he gave him a purpose. Samson's mother could not have children. God sent his angel to her, and his angel said, even though you can't have children, God is going to give you a special son. And he gave her a few rules for him, and one was not to cut his hair. You can read more about that story because it's very interesting. But what made Samson so special? What was it about him that made him different? Well, God gave him superhuman strength. Not like this kind of strength, like this kind of strength. Big muscles, very strong man, stronger than anyone in the land. That's how he made Samson. And why? What was God's plan for him? Well, they needed a strong man to defeat the Philistines. The Philistines were some pretty big people, and they were ruling over the Israelites. And God wanted the Israelites to be free, so he had Samson, and his job and purpose was to free the Israelites. That is such a tremendous responsibility. Oh boy. Well, anyways, let's get back to the story. So Samson was walking along and came across an angry lion. Well, maybe not angry, but a roaring lion. And anyways, as that lion was approaching him, let's just see what the next verse says here. So now we're in Judges 14, verse 6. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him so that he tore the lion apart and with his bare hands. Oh, can you imagine? No weapons? He was able to kill and destroy the lion with his bare hands. Oh, what kind of strength is that? He was able to save himself from the lion. Can you imagine? Wow. So that superhuman strength is what Samson ultimately used later in life to free the Israelites. He was able to put his hands on these massive boulders on the temple and push them over and collapse a huge temple to kill the Philistines and free the Israelites. So he served the purpose that God had for him in his life. Now, was Samson perfect? No, siree. You should read the story in Judges of Samson. But did God end up using Samson? He sure did, just like you. God made each of us for a reason too. He made you exactly the way he wanted to. And remember, God doesn't make any mistakes. You have the family you do because God wanted you to have that family. You are living where you live because God wanted you to be living here. Your life might not be perfect, but God wants you to learn and grow with what you have. And remember, he loves you very much and he has a plan for you. So next week, we got some more good stories coming up, but I still like to hear from you. So if you've got an animal that you want to learn a little bit about, or a story in the Bible that includes an animal, put it down below here in the comments, and hopefully we will talk about it. Thank you, and you have a wonderful week. Look at these strange tracks.